Uh, Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session, and thank you, everybody, for joining in. Today's session is on culturally responsive teaching. Um, Going further, let me first introduce myself. Uh, what happened? I'm not able to move. Okay, done. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Parna Mukherjee. I am MSc Biochemistry, and I have got 34 years of teaching experience at St. Xavier's Senior Secondary Co-ed School, Bhopal. And at present, I'm acting as a resource person at Sri Narayani Teacher Training Center, Hyderabad. And it's my proud privilege to present this session today. Thank you to Ravi sir for giving me this opportunity. And in today's agenda, I hope I'm audible to all. Can I get a response from my friends? Any one of you, could you give me your response that am I audible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay.
Audible.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, let's see today's agenda. We want to understand what are the culturally diverse, what do we actually mean by culturally responsive teaching, and what are the obstacles we are facing in that, and acknowledge and value diversity, and then benefits of such responsive teaching. Now, before that, let me tell everybody what basically this CRT means, culturally responsive teaching means. Now, as the definition states, it is a pedagogy that acknowledges and embraces students' culture, languages, and experiences and relate them to the classroom learning. Now, we might think that what is so special about it and why do we need to address this? And specifically, your NEP is asking us to address this particular topic. Can I get a response from any one of my friends in the session that why this becomes important for nowadays? Okay, let me lead you into it. See, what does the NEP says that every child has got the right to education, and every whether you are on a transfer move, the lower class people, everybody should have a right to their education. But then, when a child who is not exposed to a particular place finds a barrier in teaching, so let's see what are the problems faced by the students due to cultural diversity. Could I know from any one of you what could be the culture difficulty? Any one of you can respond? What could?
Language difficulty?
Yes, most important is language difficulty. Anything else? Any other thing you feel? Any other point?
Difficulty in uh, getting used to the atmosphere of the present
New
state
place,
of.
new
Yes, yes,
environment.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Absolutely right. And what level do you feel that this obstacles or barriers would be maximum? Which level? Well,
Ma'am, I not clear. Can you be little more explain what is the question like?
my question is which student, a student of KG1 or a student of KG5 or class 5 or a standard 11, which student is going to face more difficulty because of the cultural diversity in any place?
Ma'am, I think if the child is in primary or say like KG, they
Yes,
are easily adapting to the environment.
right.
But the child who is in like fifth, sixth, seventh primary, upper primary, they
Okay.
are having difficulty in adjusting.
Okay. Absolutely right, ma'am. The point is that at different levels, the difficulty levels are different. Now, let's take each point one by one and we can discuss every of these obstacles. I want inputs from you. That will improve our understanding as well as your understandings. Now, let's see. The first one, which got it from you, was your communication barrier due to communication barrier. And this communication barrier could be the language barrier. That's the first thing. Now, a small child who speaks, suppose, only Marathi at home, and he goes to school, and there he finds his teacher speaking only English or Hindi. Now, that's the first thing that the child will find it difficult to interact with the teacher or communicate with the teacher. Now, with this barrier, his learning may be restricted, or it may learn, or he may retract from the learning session. Do you agree to it, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am.
Huh. Now, like you said, that a KG child is taught in different ways. Now, when he is taught in different ways, maybe the teacher teaches with the sign language, and small children are very quick learners. So, if the child is a very quick learner, the child will quickly adapt to the language and may start adjusting to the new sessions. But yes, in course of time, gradually the child will learn. And the same thing can happen in the higher level as well. A child from maybe a very core who shifts from Tamil Nadu to the northern area, where the children are basically speaking in Hindi or in English. That child will find a lot of difficulty initially to feel at place. Do you agree to it, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the first barrier that in our culturally rich India, the children are facing. Initially, we were not very concerned with it, but now the NEP is working on that because we find that the emotional levels of the children are not very high, and so we need to address this difficulty. Now, the second point that I'm talking here that on my say is that diction differences. Now, every part of India, the English language has got a different pronunciations. Now, for example, with no offense to anybody, many people from the South uh, pronounce M as yem, N as yen. Like that, if you go to West Bengal, they are not able to say father, they will say father. Same way, if you go to Punjab, they are not able to pronounce PR. Like for example, if the word is Pradeep, they will say Pardeep. Now, these are the common diction problems, pronunciation problems. Now, that can happen both ways. A student may not be able to communicate with suddenly if there is a teacher from a different area, different state, and he's speaking words in pronouncing words in a different manner, then the children may start laughing, the teacher might feel offended. And for example, if the student is saying that in a different manner, he may be mocked by his friends, and that might retract a student from speaking and being communicative in the class. Do you feel or have you experienced any such examples?
Yes, you're very true. Truly, the words are very correct, ma'am.
And any other examples that you can give? These are the certain things that I spoke to different people and I picked it up. And now the next I have written down is varying professional communications. Now, we teachers are also teaching in different manners. A student who has been studying in a school from the very beginning is well adapted with the methodologies the school teachers are using. But even in the same district, in the same zone, if there is a shift of a student from one school to the other school, the child may find different modes of communication. For example, in certain schools, they might be strictly speaking a particular language, maybe English, or the students are strictly prohibited to communicate in any other language other than English. Then a teacher may be using uh, too much of your medias to communicate, or they may be using audios with foreign accent, which is not uh, uh, like adaptable by the child. So in certain cases, the repercussions are both. The child might be hyperactive, excited to learn more, or the child may be left out in a confused state. So the varying professional communication methods could also be uh, one factor that might hinder learning due to this diversity. And this is like there are many examples that is there in your psychological studies where the child has retracted to the different reasons. Okay. Any other point anybody can give that might lead to difficulty for a child for adapting? Okay. Now let's see the second slide. Now, this is the school dresses of different students of different states. This is the first one. It shows a girls' school of Kashmir. The second one, this one is showing the girls of a school of West Bengal going to school. This is an image of the students of Punjab or Haryana, and this is of Meghalaya. And these are the ethnic dresses of the region. Now suppose a student from West Bengal is transferred to Kashmir. Her parents have been transferred to Kashmir, and she is being asked to dress up according to the school uniform. What do you think will go on into the mind of a child? Or vice versa. A student from Kashmir is shifting to Punjab and they are being asked, the girls are being asked to wear their uniforms like tunic or skirts or something like this, which is a uniform of the school. What do you think will be the first repercussion or first reaction of the students and the parents?
Ma'am, can I answer?
Yes, ma'am, sure. I'm happy that you're answering.
Ma'am, if it is a child of Jammu and Kashmir, if they are uh, going to Punjab or any West Bengal, I think the parents of the child may not be happily uh, giving a child freedom to expose any such body part because they are fully
Exactly, ma'am. Huh.
dressing sense is fully covered, and
Exactly,
we
ma'am.
are wearing skirts in Punjab and all, even West Bengal sari. So I think that they might face difficulty.
Yes. So initially, till there will be a barrier both from the students' part as well as the parents' part, or maybe they may quickly change, adapt, or may happily change into it. It is also possible that here they may not be willing to wear this dress, but since it is a uniform of that particular institution, they are following the rules and regulations. It is possible that they may happily accept it or vice versa. Both are possible. So a student who is not mature enough will face a turmoil if they have to undergo that shift. Now, it's not only in the cases of transfer. A small child sees his or her parent dressing up in a particular manner at home or in their family, and when they move out, and if they see the people around dressing differently, he will be slightly dazed and he will be slightly confused. So, this dressing diversity is may be accepted, may not be accepted. It might lead to confusion. It might lead to even revolt, as we have seen happening in some of the states for these. So these are the reasons that NEP feels that one needs to culturally adapt to the culturally responsible teaching. Now let's move on to the next one. Now, India is a diverse country, we agree. But in India, we have within a religion also, there are races, there is ethnicity differences, and there are belief differences. Now, I have put up a question. Are there any racial considerations that need to be taken account? Unfortunately, in this progressed world, still now, there are many people who are considered to be the lower caste, and there are villages where they are not even allowed to use the water bodies of the high class people. Now, gradually, this becomes a rule, and this is adapted or inbuilt in the child that we are different from them, and we have to keep one step back. I still know families who do not allow or they restrict their helps at home from sitting on the chair. So if this racial difference is still within we educated people, then it is a matter of concern. Beliefs. Belief is another very big problem. If you believe that you are right, it becomes very, very difficult to change your mindset. And if you are not able to change your mindset, you will not be able to uh, deliver it to the students for a change. Now, I have put up one point, implicit bias. Implicit bias is unconscious preferences or automatic responses of a teacher. For example, a teacher, for example, I am a Bengali and I find a Bengali student in my class. And if I feel that I might suddenly become biased for that child, or I might try to give that child an extra mileage. Okay. Now, or there's another example that I have taken, like these are unconscious preferences or automatic responses. Suppose you find a particular tribe student in your classes for years. They are comparatively academically weak, but they are very good in sports. For example, I can say confidently that some of the tribes from the Chhattisgarh region, the children are inborn sports people. You can see the number of athletes, players progressing and flourishing from that region. So, but maybe they are academically not at par with the other children of that area. Now, for example, a teacher may always presume the student of a particular child to be academically weak, whereas probably, possibly, one among them is also academically good. So the teacher has a bias, or teacher has to work on her bias. And the other one is an undesirable one, explicit bias, conscious preferences, and they are expressed openly. For example, a teacher prefers to give chance to the students of a particular tribe, overlooking the talent of the certain students. For example, you are there on the sports field or in the classroom. You feel, oh, you cannot do, or you always give a chance to some student and you openly express your preferences, and that is really, really going to be detrimental for in the learning process of the child and the growth of the child. Now, my dear teachers, please respond and tell, can you relate yourself to any one of these situations? Can I have a response from the other teachers? Some other, Pinky ma'am has been really active. Can I have a response from somebody else? And could you give me some other example related to it? No one? Shelly ma'am or Swanika ma'am, could you please respond in this situation? It's okay if.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, here's Swarnika Chaurasia from Sagar Public School.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, once I met one student of my class only.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
is not so good. He is an average student,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
he is very good in art.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I saw that very differently, very nicely, very creatively he makes drawing.
Yes, ma'am.
And thinking was also very creative. He thinks very differently.
Yes, ma'am.
Though he was not so good in studies. So I suggested him, guided him, कि whatever you are doing, try to study as well as try to improve your skills also.
Yes, ma'am.
And really it helped him. Now he is in college and doing fine arts. And
Yes,
he is
ma'am.
very happy.
That's what I'm saying here. That shows the teacher did not have a bias for the student. Your example is an identification of a talent of a student. But could you also think of some of the biases we have? Sometimes we have gender biases. Like, for example, we feel that this job will be done by the girls better, but not by the boys. Does it come to happens like that? That if we give the responsibility to the girls, they will do this type of work better? Can anyone else respond?
Hi, Miss. I'm Ria.
Yes, ma'am.
To add to what you've been discussing so far, I definitely feel that gender bias plays a very big role in
Yes, ma'am.
hampering the confidence of a child. Say, for instance, for ushering work, we usually prefer girls,
Yes,
or
when there is a program.
yeah, or to lift a chair or to carry a heavy table, we immediately call boys. Boys, please
Yes,
come over
ma'am.
here.
Yes.
Right. So these are the things which I feel as teachers, we have to take the corrections right from the foundation stage so that, they feel that boys and girls are equal no matter what.
Exactly, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for bringing out. Though it may not be a culturally bias, but then it is slightly different from the cultural bias. But then, yes, it somehow we can link this particular example to the biases that we teachers sometimes carry in our head. That, oh no, this is girls' job, this is boys' job. And culturally also, like these are this particular group of people will do better. Then not only that, ma'am, biases are in your complexions as well. I was going through several examples where teachers or preferences to the white colored or the children who have got fairer in the programs and or in some of the roles of the plays, etc., as compared to the children who are of the darker skin color. And when I was going through the examples, yes, it was giving me little chilling revelations that yes, it could be so painful for a child to adjust and to come into these realities, face these realities. Do you agree to me, ma'am, that this might have happened sometime?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think all of us would agree that, we've all been raised believing that, fair skin is the best, and they are the ones who get all the opportunities, no matter what, whether you are talented, you have a special caliber, but then you are sidelined because the other person stands a better chance because of being fair. So this is
Exactly.
something that we've all
Now,
been raised with.
and now, for example, a child from the southern states of our country, where the people are generally a little darker skin color, they move on to the people of the north, and the children address them. Sorry to say, but sometimes, many a times, the children are addressed, "Tum kalu ho, eh kalu idhar
Right,
ho."
right,
So
right.
that hurts a child. That
Yeah, yeah.
that is a culturally thing, and if the child was of that region, he wouldn't bother, because he has
Absolutely.
grown up with his friends from the very beginning. But when
Yeah.
there's a shift, the pinch is very, very deep.
The bullying is
Bullying,
real bad.
exactly. It could be termed as bullying as well.
Yeah.
Now let's come to the financial barriers. Now, financial barriers, when we have a diverse group of students, we don't realize that what goes on into the mind of the children who are coming from a slightly weaker background. For example, I have written down the students from low income group backgrounds may face challenges related to accessing resources, technology, transportation, etc., impacting their ability to participate fully in school activities. Now, for example, if we have a cultural program and we say for this particular program, each child has to pay 100,000 rupees, 500 rupees for the dresses, for the costumes. Now, a student from a financially weaker background may be doing very well, but he knows the capacity of our parents. So silently, he may back out from that program saying, "Ma'am, I will not be in town on that day, so I will not participate." Or when we assign them some activities that you make a PowerPoint presentation, though today most of the things can be done on mobile and everybody has an access to a mobile, still there is a possibility they may not be having the best of the gadgets with them. So somewhere they feel left out. And this financial differences, biases, impacts them psychologically, emotionally. And there are hundreds of examples given in the when I was going through the examples of these things. So it did bring out a realization in me as well. Now, the other thing is that they are saying they also may struggle to form friendships with peers from higher income backgrounds, impacting harmony, emotional stability at home or in school. Now, for example, here a student throws party and his friend from a different cultural and financial background uh, wishes to join the party, but withdraws from it, thinking that he will not be able to do the same because his parents may not be able to there. So there comes in his emotional instability. And if the child is not an understanding child, if he is not able to relate to his parents' conditions, he might be forcing his parents to give money. So that brings about an instability and school. And his mental instability, emotional stability will impact harmony in the family, among the friends, and in the school. And nowadays, this word FOMO sets in. What is FOMO? I hope many of you must be knowing what is a
Fear of
FOMO.
missing out.
Fear of missing out. This is a new psychological problem. For example, a child is in the social media And if in the social media he is not being liked, he's not being followed for his, if he's not able to put up the jazzy pics or very catchy lines and all, or he's not able to flaunt his background, possibly he might be left out by his friends, or it might be ignored by his friend. So this cultural differences, backgrounds is impacting. Now, this has always been there from the very beginning. But nowadays, this mobile and the gadgets have like made the differences wider. And that is why we feel we need to address these difficulties all the more. Can somebody help me out or point out any more examples that a child might find a difficulty in handling? Any other thing that is coming to anybody's mind, or do you feel I've taken up the right point? Come on, my friends, can I have responses that will help us to learn better? Okay, so let me move on. I think there is a silence there. Now, the next talk, I'm talking about cultural hierarchy. I'll give you an example. Once I was taking a team of students from Bhopal to Kolkata for Children's Science Congress. And the children had been collected from different schools of Madhya Pradesh, and they were traveling with us. Now, one of the students was from a deep village, and I found the child never agreed to sit beside me on the train berth. When I used to call her, make her sit next to me, she used to sit down on the floor. I kept on asking her, what is this? Why are you sitting on the floor? And I used to pull her up. Then I talked to her personally. Then she said, I am the daughter of the peon of that institution. And in our school, we are not allowed to sit with the other children who are of the higher category. What would you say, ma'am? What a sad state that a child who of 9th and 10th grade already has been inflicted this trauma that she is of the lower category and she is not supposed to sit with the people of other people on the same level. This is cultural hierarchy, that we are of the higher category, you are of the lower category, so differences. Now, educational background. Today, yes, Pinky ma'am, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. This is a point it's keep on rotating in my mind since the beginning of the session, that this thing is still followed in many pockets of the Indian villages. That there are certain strata and there is a line division, and such kind of people are not allowed to even enter or sit on the chair. So, like when I faced such situation first time, I was very surprised that I asked my family members, why are they sitting down? Why are they sitting on the chair? So, like they made me understand that in village they are lower category people, so they won't sit in front of us. So yes, it is taught to the children also, might be possible. So they are habitual of it.
So here, thank you so much, ma'am. This is what I'm saying. So don't you think a big responsibility lies on we teachers to break this, this obstacle and make them feel, no, you are at par? Gradually, the things are happening. It is not that the walls are not breaking, but um, if even one student, one child, if we are able to work with, it will infiltrate and it will go deep and we will be doing a job. So we need to ponder about it. That is why NEP is talking about this topic. Now let me talk about this next one, educational background. See, there are many parents who themselves are not fully educated or highly educated, but they are trying every damn thing to ensure that their children get educated. Again, I'll give you an example of one of my students, Devendra Gupta. I can name that student as well. He said, ma'am, he had done his engineering from one of the national institutes of India, NITs he has done. And he said, ma'am, my mother cannot even read and write. And I'm a proud son of such a mother. This is the child at least acknowledges that his parents had sacrificed to educate him. But there are children who feel ashamed to that their parents are not educated, and they degrade, they disrespect their parents for it, and they blame their parents for not being able to be guided at home. So this educational background, the educational background that we are, if the educational background is not really conducive, we have to teach our children that no matter your parents are not very highly educated, but just acknowledge their effort, that they are making every effort for you to get educated. So please respect your parents. These things we ignore. We need to tell it in our moral science classes or everyday classes, the importance of these things. In the present Indian scenario, there is a lot of disparity. We are creating differences on the name of religion. We are dividing the children in the name of religion. We are dividing the children in the name of caste. On the contrary, we have to remind them that we have to be one, then only we can progress. Now, the last topic, when I'm talking about cultural capital, this is where I'm talking about international students. A student a child who was India shifts to America, or the Indians who were in US and they are turning back to India. Now, everything is different for them. The temperature of the country, the people around them, the diction, the language, the dress, the washrooms, the culture, the behavior, the approach, everything is different. Now, when such children have to be really taken care by the teacher, so that and help that child to adjust with the present situation. Their teaching patterns were different. How they were taught in their country is very, very different. But now the child is in a total confused state. What I know about example of a child, a small girl, she went to the washroom and she described, her mother, that here the washroom has got a hole in the pot. She had never seen an Indian style washroom. She was used to the Western commodes and all. So that description at that moment, I found it very funny. But just see the impact of the child. She did not go to the washroom for the whole day. She did not know how to use it. So either the parents prepare the child for it, and if the parents are preparing and sending the child, still it will not be the same as they anticipate. The students may be laughing at them, bullying on them, or they might try to become extra pally to them. So here comes the role of a teacher to take care of the child in a special manner and help the child to become confident and be at par. Do you agree to it, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
If I can have a little bit more interactive sessions, I'll be so happy for it. Now come to the teacher strategy. What are we trying? What we have to do? We know what we have to do, but we forget. So when we think upon it, when we research on these points, definitely it changes our thinking. Now, the first thing is that we have to identify the student who is facing difficulty. That's the first job. And for that, we have to learn about the students. Now, to be very honest, it is not, I've been also teaching, it's not possible. We have such a big number of students in the class, and it's difficult for us. So when I was going through and researching the different methods, how to learn about the student, one thing what I felt is possible is we give a quick questionnaire to the students of different types of questions, and we take a response from them. And when we take the response from them, we can at least assess that what could be the background of the child, like what you eat at home, which language you speak at home, where do you find your school is different from your home, and what are the difficulties you face from these students. Like these type of questions, if we give as a questionnaire to the students and gradually we go through the answers, we might be able to identify the student who is finding a difficulty in the culturally due to cultural diversity. Now, once we have identified their obstacle, now we need to address their barrier. Without making the child conscious, we can address this barrier. For example, I can call 3 students of the same, if it is a lower class, or the 3 students or 4 students of different cultural background, and we can ask them to narrate a story or read out a story. Now, there will be differences in their pronunciations, dictions. So here the teacher can tell the child that, see, this is how great our India is. Though the same word is pronounced differently in different parts of our country, still our India is united. And if we do such a little activity in the class, that can be easily done in the social science classes or English classes. So the child's barrier is addressed and the child is made to feel that you are not wrong. You are right, you are correct, and you are still, you not only you are right, you are correct, you are only different. That is all. Now, once the child is addressed, you can reward the child. You can see, he has come from this such and such place and so quickly he has made friends with you all. So clap for him. He deserves an appreciation. And I also appreciate the other children for making him together, for being apart from you. So this is a reward. A reward really builds up consciousness, your motivations and all. And this is how we are supporting the student's critical consciousness. The child might be critically analyzing himself. So this is one example I gave of cultural diversity. Same way we can address their financial biases, the racist biases. We need to find ways how to address it and how to make the child cool, calm, and happy and inclusive in the classroom. Now, for that, when we start doing it, we have to change our classroom environment. How we have to make it create a safe, inclusive space. I said the child should not feel threatened. Because of my language, I will be ridiculed. Because of my financial difficulty, I will be left out. So we have to make the child feel that, no, you are inclusive in this classroom space. And we need to promote and respect the differences. For example, we can again give, and some activity in some fun day or bagless day, we can tell the children, okay, today a student from Punjab will behave as a student from Tamil Nadu. A student from Tamil Nadu will behave as a student from Punjab. So you promote to respect the differences. When you promote to, and when the child will try to behave like somebody else, he will understand their culture. Not only they will understand their culture, he will gradually start respecting that culture and their differences, and those barriers might dissolve gradually. Okay. Now, next is engage family and community. Now, this may not be so easily, but Nowadays, in certain schools, in some of the activities, parents are involved, or in the parents teachers meeting, you can identify or speak to the parents gradually and tell them that this is the difficulty the child is facing. So be a little conscious and then try to help the child to get out of it. Now, next is instructional strategies. Promote diverse forms of learning. Now, suppose reading is one of the assessment patterns for English, and you find that the child's pronunciation or the diction is not appropriate, definitely the child is going to lose marks. But to change his diction, to change his pronunciations, it is not a one-day process. It is a time-consuming process. It is a slow process. So maybe the child may not be able to read well, but maybe the child may be able to write well. So these diverse forms of learning and assessment will compensate his confidence. And encourage students' voices. Please allow the children to speak. You shed your biases, allow the child to speak, and listen to the child. Let us not presume, assume, taken it for granted. And when we do all these things in totality will build relationships, and definitely we have taken a step ahead. Now let's come to our topic is culturally responsive teaching. So we own the responsibility. Now, what are the teachers' activity we need to address? Well, again, assess and reflect one's own biases and eliminate them. I want each one of you to please ponder and think, do you have any biases? Are you partial? Now, if that word biases changes into partial in the classroom situation, are you partial to some student for any reason, which might be culturally affected? Maybe your language or culture, your caste, your religion, your community, your gotra. Does it work? It works in many, many institutions I've seen. So please assess and reflect your own biases. And if you feel that you have it, okay, we have it. We have understood that we have it. Now what we have to do, we have to gradually eliminate it. Then develop cultural competence. We need to know the culture of other communities or those who are around us. And see, nowadays, food, if you talk in terms of food, cultural diversities, we eat all types of food. We are eating North Indian food, we are eating momos, we are eating idli dosas, we are eating pav bhaji, we are eating vada pav, we are having chowmins, we are having yakni pulao. That means we have accepted cultural diversity of food. If we have taken up so much of a cultural diversity in terms of food, that means we have developed a competence. And gradually, we need to develop all such competences in the other fields as well. Then believe in the potentials of all the students and hold them to high academic standards. Evaluate learning by using multiple methods that align with different learning styles and cultural preferences. This we have already spoken about. So we as teachers, we really need to work on the first point. And if we are able to give away, eliminate it, we have achieved our target. Now, what are the advantages of culturally responsive teaching? First, enhance engagement, both engagement of the student as well as the teacher. And once we engage a student and a teacher, the student will feel acknowledged. When a student feels acknowledged, the student's confidence builds up. And this confidence will improve his performance. It could be in the academics, it could be in the field, it could be in the field of art or any other ways. So please acknowledge your students. And then almost similar, next point, what I'm saying, fostering the sense of belonging. A student who had been shifted from one background to the other background, he is able to overcome his confusion and he feels that yes, I also I belong to this diverse group as well. It will help us to bridge linguistic gaps. And when we work for someone, the other one also will start working for you. That means we are promoting empathy. And this will help teachers to build strong relationships with the student. When we build strong relationships with the student, and that will improve the performance of a teacher. That means we have worked on our professional growth. Nowadays, again, like we understand, it's no more the ancient days mode of teaching that we take up a book and we impart knowledge in the class. Actually, we are only the students, or we are expected to be mentors. And mentoring pattern methods are changing day by day. Every day it is evolving. So we have to also work on our professional growth. Now, I think this is what I had to say. Now, let's quickly take a recap. And I want active participation from all my attendees in the class. Now, can I have a response from Madam Anita Bhatt? Ma'am, what could you please tell me, what are the barriers a teacher faces?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Cultural
evening.
barriers,
Yes, ma'am.
educational background of the parents,
Yes, ma'am.
financial,
Okay,
language.
okay, so sweet of you, ma'am. Anupama Hangal, ma'am. Ma'am, what are the different communication difficulties, that barriers that is there? Anyone else? Rajam, Meenakshi? Shweta, Sunil?
Lack of language skill.
Yes, ma'am. It's not lack of language skill, ma'am. Can we put it that way? Not aware of the language, not
Yes,
knowing the language, है ना?
yes, correct, ma'am. Yes,
Then diction, I said. Diction, like I said, the way you pronounce a word. If you pronounce it differently, if we go abroad and we pronounce it in our way, schedule. Now, for us, it is okay. But a child, if it is mocked and he is laughed at, his confidence level immediately crashes, isn't it? So that is another one. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for responding. So, and what are the advantages of culturally responsive teaching? Let's again revise it, and then I will wind up with my class. So I said, if we teachers are culturally responsive, responsible teaching, we will have a better engagement, we will acknowledge the students' need, we will improve the academic achievements, we will foster belongingness, harmony, bridge the linguistic gaps, promote empathy, we will build relationships, and that means we have had a professional growth. Now, the last I want to end up with saying, cultural responsiveness is not a burden on teachers, but it is rather a way to enrich the experiences of everyone. That is, with this, I would like to end. Can I have your feedbacks, sir? Ravi sir must be giving his feedback now. Ravikant sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So now could I have your feedback, please, of this session? Because
Firstly, I would like to hear from more people as in what they are feeling about the
okay,
session, because
please.
it has been ethical teaching, isn't it? So, may I request you to kindly stop the screen sharing, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So I believe that today's topic was the need of the hour because being an educator is not so easy because to be an educator you have to have certain principles in your life. So I believe through this particular session we have once again allowed educators to recapitulate the idea of these principles which a proper educator should possess. So I believe indeed it was a wonderful session, Ma.
Thank you, sir.
We are expecting much more such philosophical sessions from your end because we need it for the upcoming generation of teachers. Yes. So I believe that's all for today. And dear participants, those who wish to grab a certificate for this particular session can, what do we say, send 50 rupees to the following number. 990-892-5730. As you all know, it is definitely a free session. Everyone can attend. There is no registration cost. But the people who wish to grab a certificate, they need to pay a minimum certificate charges. That's it. So I have shared the phone number in the chat box. You can either pay it by Google Pay or Phone Pay or Paytm and send a screenshot through WhatsApp to the same number within 24 hours, mostly by tomorrow morning. In worst cases, within 24 hours, you will be getting your certificate. So that's how you need to grab a certificate. And as you all know, our 13th batch of Train the Trainer, the people who wish to become trainers like Paranama, for them, our 13th batch is starting from 2nd of June. 13th batch of Train the Trainers is starting from 13th of June. So those who wish to become trainers can join that particular 1 month course and then start your career as a resource person. So that's how it is. Those who wish to know more about that particular course can text me on the same number. You will be getting the details. So thank you one and all. Thank you, Parnama.
Thank you.
Let us
Thank you.
all meet in the upcoming session again. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your wonderful inputs and hope we will be using. And that's all. Thank you for your good knowledge, ma'am.
Thank you, Pinky ma'am. You had been so interactive. At least you were responding, and I was feeling good that somebody is responding because in the class also we feel that interactive classes are the best classes.
Yes, truly, I appreciate, ma'am, because when the class is interactive, then only the teachers like to
Exactly,
get deep
exactly,
into
ma'am.
the topic.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.